Om Shanti. Today, Om Shanti. Today I want to ask you something before we read the Murli. So, we all come from, we have our own belief systems before we come to Gyan. And Baba somewhere meets us in the way, and then, he just catches hold of us. And we were someone else, at least we believed we were someone else when we meet Baba. And then Baba says, no, all that you thought you are not. And then everything you thought about who you belong to is also not true. And everything that you thought you're doing right is also not true. And then our life is kind of turned upside down, and then we take a while to put it back, and it takes some time and we juggle with what we thought was true and what Baba is telling is true. But the point that I want to discuss today is, did you have a relationship with Baba or God before you came to Gyan? So who amongst you did not ever think about God before you came to Gyan? Like, there was no thought, you did not spend any 10 minutes of the day thinking about God, or there was no connection, even if there was, even in a ritualistic way, you did not connect with God. So in bhakti we do these things, at least we say some prayers or go to the temple or something. But who amongst you did none of that? So is there anybody? Yes, so there are a few who did not do that. And everyone else did that, but then it was not in the true form, as Baba tells us right now, right? So Baba tells us that he has a name, he has a form, he has qualities, he does something, and then we have a relationship with him, and he lives somewhere. So earlier, when we did not have an idea about the truth, we believed something, correct? And we believed that God maybe has a physical form, or we believe that he has some name, or he has these qualities, like he loves discipline and he gets angry when when you're not disciplined, or when you don't offer your regular puja, then probably he will be upset with you. Or you thought that maybe he's the ocean of love. I don't know what you thought, but there are certain beliefs you carried about how he is. And you also thought something about what he does. So maybe you thought that he gives you jobs and makes you pass an exam, or I don't know what you did, I thought, but you thought something about him, about the work he does. And then you also thought something about your relationship with him. Sometimes the relationship we thought we had was, God is into some kind of contract where we keep messing up things and he keeps correcting them. And you can just, exercise your right and just talk, just scold him if he's not doing the right thing. So you can just say, God, what are you doing, and why is not everything not right? And you did not have to claim any responsibility about what you are doing, but God was into some kind of contract of setting everything right when you messed things up. So that was something we thought God did. And then we also thought that God is everywhere, or at least He comes whenever I call Him, and I do not need to do anything to call Him. Probably just bathe and keep the place clean, and He'll come. So we did not think about I have to keep my heart clean and my mind clean, and I have to embrace purity. We just thought that God will come whenever I call Him. If I just take a bath and sit, and some people even challenged that, and they thought, what if I don't take a bath also? So God has to come whenever I call Him. So these are some of the belief systems we had, and then we also had certain belief systems about who I am, and what are your duties, and so we had thoughts about what God does, and then we had thoughts about what is our duty and responsibility, and who we are, and what is our purpose. And we had this body consciousness of who is senior, who is junior, what is right, what is wrong. All these things were there. And then when we come to Gyan, I don't know if you have noticed until now, but everything is just not what you thought. So it's mostly almost the opposite of what you thought. And then it takes a while to figure out that what Baba is saying is not what you believed earlier. And and I'm telling you in a state of great awareness that it takes a while to even recognize that what Baba is telling you is not what you thought was true. And then it takes you a while to reconcile this. So, and it almost takes a lifetime to do these things. And then when you reconcile everything, that is, you kind of change what you thought with what Baba is saying, then you are in alignment with Baba. And that is the stage when you are in perfect remembrance and you are connected with Baba all the time. So this is the whole journey. But every day the Murli is how we make contact with what Baba is saying. So listening to the Murli carefully and trying to figure out what is Baba saying and how is it different from what I believe right now, and then churning on it enough so that it replaces your current belief system. That is the job. And Baba says, because you are so far away from truth, and truth is what I tell you in the Murli, and you have had this 84 births of journey and precisely 63 births under Ravan's influence, and you've gotten everything messed up inside yourself. And then listen to the Murli every day and keep aligning your man and buddhi with me. So especially the buddhi which discerns and decides everything. So at least the discernment of what is what, that has to get aligned with the what is what that I tell you. So Baba says in the Murli today, so I hope what I'm talking is making sense, and you understand what this journey is about, because we are kind of very similar in our state to a person who has been hanging upside down. So let's say if I just put you upside down for 5 days, and then you saw everything upside down, and then somebody put you straight, then when you see everything from a different angle after 5 days, you feel that what you saw for 5 days was the reality. So this is our state, and we have been hanging upside down for 63 births. believing all that is not true. And then when Baba comes, then you don't know where to start and how to move, and then slowly, gradually, because Baba is real and Baba is working, so he takes your hand and he kind of you don't even have to walk, he makes you walk the path. And for some time, you even have the ego that you are walking on the path. And then when you start seeing him clearly, you drop that ego also. And then you can see who you are and who is he and how he is making you tread this path to truth. And it is taking you to self-awareness and the awareness of the Supreme, the true awareness of both of the entities. And this is the journey that we are on. So do you get an idea about the journey that we are on? So it's not about it's not about some grace that you receive from Baba. So Baba in one of the Murlis in few days back said that you don't have to seek blessings from me, and you are my children, and I am giving you a right over my inheritance, and you don't have to wait for my grace. I am making you as powerful as I am. Yes, so instead of you waiting for my grace, you can open the doors of fortune for many people. Yes, so stop connecting with Baba in that manner that Baba will give you some grace or Baba will give you some blessing. So Baba says, I have my whole treasure store open for you, and you are my child, and I make you equal to me. So just see who you are and see who I am according to the wisdom that I am giving you, and start making yourself what I want to make of you. Yes, so this is the current practice. It's not what we did in bhakti. So what we did in bhakti is over. So now we have access to everything. We are not looking for God. We are not trying to figure out who God is. We are not trying to please him. He's already pleased, very pleased. He says, you're my children, I love you the most. So Baba says, you don't have to seek me, you don't have to seek blessings from me, you don't have to please me. You just have to try to recalibrate your thought process and your belief system with what I am telling you. And when you start aligning yourself with me, which is man mana bhav. What is man mana bhav? Aligning your man and buddhi. So aligning your buddhi means aligning your thought process, belief systems, and aligning your man means aligning your thoughts. So belief systems and thoughts, just align them with what I am telling you. And when you do that, then you become like me, and you don't have to seek blessings. You will actually become the giver of blessings. Yes, so we never thought that that we will be the fortunate ones playing this great part with Baba, but here we are, and this is happening to us. And sometimes it feels very surreal, but this is true that Baba has come and Baba has chosen you and me, and it is a matter of great fortune. And the only effort we have to make is, this loving effort, because anything that we do for Baba is not very effort making. With a lot of love we can do. So the labor of love has to be put in, and we just have to do as he says. So let's listen to the Murli today. Baba in the essence says, sweet children, this whole world is God's family, which is why it is sung, you are the mother and father, and we are your children. You have now become God's family in a practical way. So Baba in the Murli sometimes gives this example that you call many people Bapuji. So you call Mahatma Gandhi Bapuji, or sometimes the mayor you will call Bapuji. But Baba says that even if you call somebody as Baba or Bapuji, you don't expect them to take care of you, do you? So you don't expect that they will provide for you. So Baba says, even with Baba, you thought that, you always said that he's your mother and father. So you sang praises that you are Mat Pita. But did you ever feel that God is bound to provide everything to you? Yes, and as I discussed earlier, yes, you sometimes felt that also, but like an indignant child who doesn't understand responsibilities and only understands rights. Yes, so sometimes we said, you are the provider and why are you not providing? So, but Baba says, no. Now this relationship is very, very practical. So I am your mother and father. I take full responsibility of you. But you also have to belong totally to me. So I am your parent, but you also become a child. And what is the quality of a child? The quality of a child is total surrender. So a child, when somebody is in ego, you cannot take responsibility of that one. Even surrender is a very big quality. So because the child is in a surrendered state, the parents take the responsibility of the child. And when the child grows up and has ego about, the child starts saying that I also know stuff and I also can do stuff, and the child starts suggesting and the child starts, giving his peace of mind, then the parents also kind of leave the child's responsibility. And they don't think that they are responsible. They say you're grown up and you can take care of yourself. So Baba also says that now this relationship is very, very practical. I am your mother and father. Theoretically, I was always your mother and father because you sang praises about me in bhakti, saying you are my mother, father, brother, teacher, everything. But now I am very practically your mother and father. So I will give you the sustenance of the mother and I will give you the inheritance of the father. I will make you the master of heaven. But what you have to do is you have to become an obedient child. Yes, so are you willing to be a child? Wake up when he says, do as he says, eat as he says. Yes, consider his task to be your task. Yes, so are you willing to be his child? How many of you have really surrendered that, Baba, I am your child? So, see, yes, so there are 4 to 5 and then others have not surrendered. So then God cannot take responsibility of you. Do you get it? So this is not theory. This is not like being that child who can only demand and not fulfill the duties. So you have to be a child if you want God to be your parent. This is how it works. So Baba says very practically, you now have become God's family. Then the question is, What is the easy way to claim the inheritance of 21 births from the Father? So the Father is here and his property is here. He can make you the master of heaven for 21 births. But Baba says, what is the easy way? So I told you, claiming property from the Father is be a good child. That's it. So you want to claim the property, you become a good child. So I've given you the hint. Now let me tell you what Baba says. Baba says, make Shiv Baba your heir at the confluence age. So whatever you have, you say that belongs to Baba, then Baba says whatever I have belongs to you. Because the problem is, the old and the new cannot coexist. The old and the new cannot coexist. The old sanskars, the old attachments, the old belief systems have to be exchanged if you want to get the new world. So Baba says, until and unless you give up the old, I cannot give you the new. So Baba says, you make me your heir first. Just tell me that whatever you have belongs to me. Because whatever you have, your vices are connected with that. Yes, so you have attachment to your body, you have attachment to things, you have attachment to your relationships. And until you say that whatever I have belongs to you, that is now my body is not mine, my relationships are not mine, my wealth is not mine, my things are not mine, they belong to you, then you cannot have claim over what Baba is giving you, because you're so full of your attachment to people, places, things, wealth, that there is no space for Baba's inheritance for you. So Baba says you have to exchange first. Yes, so Baba says, make Shiv Baba your heir at the confluence age. Surrender yourself with your body, mind and wealth, and you will receive the full inheritance for 21 births. Baba says, I give a return for 21 births to the children who ensure all the old things they have at the confluence age. So you have everything old. Yes, you have an old body, old wealth, old things, old relationships without any power in them. And Baba says, you are so attached to the old that you do not have the thought and the time to take the new from me. So until and unless you surrender that to me, I cannot give you the new. Yes, so let me just give you a very simple example. Even to take up the new way of thinking that Baba is telling you, or the new way of speaking, you have to give up your old way of thinking and speaking. Yes, you have to give up that. Do you get it? So if you're used to thinking in an egoistic way and speaking in an egoistic way, and that has been giving you a high for so long. So, if you have dependent on robe for your identity, then you cannot embrace ruhab. So if you have always sought your identity by depending on your old way of thinking and speaking, that I am high and mighty and this person is my slave and servant, if you have that way of thinking and speaking, then you cannot embrace this new way of thinking and speaking with love and respect until and unless you give up that old way. But the problem is we don't realize how attached we are to the old. We are very attached to the old. We are attached to our old ways of thinking. We are attached to our old ways of seeking pleasure, happiness. We are attached to our old ways of talking to people. We are attached to our old ways of, feeling great and having an identity in the society. And then these old ways keep working within us, and we are not able to adopt what Baba is giving us. And another big thing is we are attached to our old ways of spending our money. And these days, people have so much of frustration because they are not able to spend their money in the old ways they used to. And then Baba says, if you don't adopt the new way of spending your wealth, then you cannot get the fruit of that spending, because the way you are dealing with bodies and relationships and wealth, everything is creating a certain kind of karma. And if you don't change that, you will not be able to get the fruit of the inheritance that Baba is giving you. Yes, so how you engage with your body has to change. Your old relationship with your body. How do you engage with your body? You look at your body as a pleasure-seeking device. So, these days people abuse their ears until they are deaf, abuse their eyes until they are blind. So you don't care about the eyes or the ears. What you need is these eyes and ears, and the skin is a source of what you want to feel on the inside. And then you keep abusing your body. But Baba says, no, don't abuse your body. Your body is not a pleasure-giving device. Your body is sacred. Use it to create good karma. Use your eyes to give Baba's drishti. Use your ears to listen very compassionately to souls and listen to Baba's gyan. Use your body to do good karma. Exercise your physical energy to do Baba's seva. And this is the kind of relationship you need to change. And Baba says, until unless you give up on the old, it's very difficult for me to give you the new. Yes, so this is something that today Baba is talking about. And Baba says, you have to belong to me. Most important, yes. Just belong to me, surrender to me. And let me read out the blessing to you today. Baba says, may you receive the blessing of becoming a karma yogi from the instrument souls, and thereby become a master bestower of blessings. So Baba says, when you see something being done in a physical way, now when you read the Murli or listen to the Murli, you get some idea about what God is talking about. But then you don't really get a pen picture of how that would translate into action. Yes? So then Baba says, you want to see how Baba's words translated into actions would look like. And this is why Baba gives you instrument souls. So you get a teacher in the yagya, physical teacher. Why? Because Baba wants you to see how that physical teacher is imbibing what Baba is saying practically. And when you see that thing being done in a practical way, you have a better idea about what to do. Yes, so Baba says, when you see something being done in a physical way, you can easily adopt it. And this is why when you are inspired on seeing the practical form of service, renunciation, love, and cooperation of all the elevated instrument souls, it becomes a blessing for you. So Baba says, you can see the elevated instrument souls. You can see the dadis, you can see the didis, And when you see them, you see practical form of service. So people ask us, what is service? What we are doing is service. Learn from that. Yes, so you don't need to ask what is service if you see the one who is serving. So whether getting up at 3:30, whether it is about meditating for world peace, whether it is about surrendering your opinion and your life in seva, or whether it is about surrendering all that you have in seva, or whether it is about cooperating with other service fellows so that seva is taken forward, whether it is about doing the work in the center, or whether it is about giving classes, everything is seva. So Baba says, you see the practical form of service in the instrument souls. Then Baba says, renunciation. What is renunciation? So renunciation is when you do not even have the time to think about anyone or anything else other than Baba and his seva. That is renunciation. So Baba says, practical form of service, renunciation, love and cooperation. So what is the practical form of love? Bringing someone to have self-belief and faith in God. Making someone Nishya Buddhi and Swamandhari. So making someone come to a place where they have faith in themselves and faith in Baba is a practical form of love. And what is the practical form of cooperation? Practical form of cooperation is giving your assistance, whether it is through your words or your drishti or your mental strength or spiritual strength, or supporting them in some other way so that they can have a connection with daily Murli and Baba. So that is the practical form of cooperation. And Baba says, when you see these practical forms, it becomes a blessing for you because it gives you the power and the clarity to do that for yourself. When you see the instrument souls with the inculcation of virtues while working, so, everybody is working in the world. Yes, so there is nobody who is just sitting and eating. Everybody is working. Yes, there are mostly, everybody is working in the world. But then what is it about Baba's children that makes them different from the world? It is the inculcation of virtues while working. Yes, so it is the inculcation of virtues while working. So when you go to Madhuban, and I hope you're able to go soon and go to Baba's house. Right now Madhuban is not open for children, but once it is open, I will arrange for a visit. And then when we go to Madhuban, what you see is there is this humongous task, Baba's task going on. And there are 25,000 Baba's children at once living in a campus and then having 3 meals a day and having clean rooms and a clean atmosphere, and there is regular sustenance of knowledge and yoga and everything. And then it is all done in an atmosphere where you will see nobody disturbed, upset, or in haste or in worry, because everybody is doing it in a virtuous way. So Baba says, when you see the instrument souls working with the inculcation of virtues, it is as though you easily receive a blessing to become a karma yogi. When you see a karma yogi, it gives you an idea, so much of clarity and power to become a karma yogi yourself. And I have seen that in the world, when people organize one conference, they get so worked up. And in Mount Abu, Madhuban, we have a conference every week. We used to have. This is the lockdown period, so that's not happening anymore. But one conference every week, and then everybody is doing it in such a state that when you come back, you feel that my task is very small and I can do it in absolute peace and quiet, in a state of great happiness. Because if such a big task on such a big scale can be done with so much of peace in the heart, then why can't I do my little task in peace? So Baba says this Karam Yogi state kind of makes sense to you, and you get the blessing of being a Karam Yogi when you see the instrument souls in action. And Baba says those who continue to receive such blessings become master bestowers of blessings themselves. And Baba says when you see these elevated souls in actions, then you become one of them very soon. So they inspire you, influence you so much that you also start doing the same thing that they are doing, and it doesn't look unnatural, or it doesn't look effort making to you. So this is what Baba says, and let me summarize this for you in one sentence. So you make others as you are. So that is the crux of what Baba is trying to tell you. And you know, in the yajna, I have observed something, and that something is very beautiful. So, you know, when I used to see Jayanti Didi and Sister Denise and other senior sisters, and I was very influenced by them. And I felt that they have great understanding of Gyan, and they have clarity, and they have imbibed Gyan. And when I used to look at them, I just used to marvel at how excellent they are. But then when I came to know who their teacher is, then it looked very natural that they would be like this. And their teacher is Janki Dadi. So when you see Janki Dadi, and if you are in and around Janki Dadi ji, then you learn from the best. And when you learn from the best, you become the best. So Baba says that those who saw Brahma Baba in action, Mama in action. So who were those souls, those great souls who had the fortune to see Brahma Baba and Mama in action? Those were the Dadis. So when you look at Dadis, you say Janki Dadi is so great, Gulzar Dadi is so great. But then who did they see to become so great? They saw Mama and Baba. So you can see the hierarchy. So Baba says, seeing the blessed souls in action becomes a blessing, and they touch you with their purity and their virtues in such a way that you become one of them and you become like them. And this is a very good way of sharing blessings that you have. So when you are blessed from Baba and you are in action, then other people will become blessed seeing you in action. Okay, so we need to learn from instrument souls, and then we need to become instruments who others see and take blessings in their life. Om Shanti.